Okay, I'm going to do another video here. I just got done talking about a lot of the advantages of the Hyliion setup, and if you're wondering what all the background noise is, I've got my mic on, so hopefully it isn't too bad, but got a big waterfall here behind my home, and I enjoy sitting out here and listening to it. But what I wanted to talk about as well is the fact that I was watching Kenny the other day, 18 Wheel Investing, and he talked about glider kits, and I hadn't heard anybody talk about glider kits in a long time. I've actually got a truck it's a glider, and what that is they take a new truck, which is a rolling chassis, and then they put your old engine and transmission into it, and axles, rear axles. So basically, you know, these trucks, after many millions of miles, can get kind of loose and rattly, and body parts start creaking and groaning, and you know, they get to be kind of noisy, and a lot of components in the dash and electrical and all that start to fail and become troublesome. So a lot of guys would switch out their old trucks for a glider kit and take their engine and transmission that they knew were strong and good to go and put it in the new rolling chassis. And there were other reasons too, to help get you guys around different smog requirements. You could still register the truck as the older, if I'm not mistaken, you could register it as the older truck that you once had, even though it was a new body, which there was a lot of advantages to that. That's kind of, the people have gotten away from that because the regulators have kind of caught on to that, and so they passed new regulations to basically take away the incentive to do that. But the point that Kenny made was that Hyliion system, one of their options is kind of basically like a glider, where you take a truck of your choice and put their system in it to replace the engine and transmission and the axle. So if you've got a truck that you love, an older truck that you love, you can just retrofit it, and that saves you from having to spend $250,000 on a brand new rig. And we're talking about a brand new rig that's so smogged down. Even though they've gotten them to where they're fairly reliable, they're extremely expensive to work on if you have a sensor go bad. And the other bad thing about them is if a sensor does go bad, they'll just shut down and go into what they call limp mode, and you can do maybe 2 miles an hour just to limp it off the highway. But that's it. And a lot of times you have to get them towed when these sensors go bad. So I know there's a lot of guys and a lot of fleets, companies with big fleets that are really anxious to get away from these highly smogged down, choked down with exhaust, DEF systems and sensors and so forth that are very high maintenance and very expensive to keep going. They're very anxious to get away from that to something like the Tesla or Hyliion system. And for most trucking outfits that run a lot of miles, they're going to go with the Hyliion system because it's set up for long haul. I mean, they have a 1,300 mile range. A lot of diesel rigs don't even have that. They have way more torque to the ground, so you can accelerate faster and get up to speed faster. So they're actually a safer truck just for that reason alone. These newer trucks, I've got a few of them myself. They're so slow to get off the starting line. And if you're on a blind corner trying to make a turn out into traffic or something, it's actually dangerous, guys, because you're just crawling, pulling these 80,000 pound loads, trying to get up to speed. If you're going up a hill, forget it. You're stuck at 5 miles an hour, maybe 10 miles an hour, trying to get this thing going. And it's been more than once. I've pulled out, thought I was wide open, plenty of room to start accelerating around from a stop to get up a hill or whatever, and around this blind corner comes somebody that's flying, 55, 60 miles an hour, and they're just locking up their brakes to keep from hitting me, or they're going off the side into the shoulder, just trying to get around me safely, and it's nerve-wracking. If these new electric trucks, whether it be the Hyliion or the Tesla or whatever, any electric truck is going to put way more torque to the ground, and you're going to have 0 to 60 acceleration like a regular pickup truck, really. It's going to be way safer in that regard. Plus the braking capability with the electrical regeneration is going to have more holding power to hold that truck back than the Jake brakes do of today. And I don't know if you guys knew this, but I'm just going to mention to you, this is an old technology, in some respects. Freight trains are big diesel engine freight trains, and everybody thinks they're run by diesel engines, but they're not. That diesel engine, all it does is drive a generator, just like the Hyliion system. And that generator puts electricity to the wheels of the train. The trains are electrically driven. Same thing with a lot of mining equipment and the earth scrapers. I don't know about today, but back in the day, a lot of them, like the big Laternos and Michigans, I think, were doing it. I'm trying to think of other brands. There was Huff. A lot of them were diesel over electric. The wheels were actually driven by electricity. So the reason they do that is you can put so much more torque, and it's much more controllable torque to the ground with electrical motors. It's much like a rheostat. If you've got a dimmer switch on a light in your house, it's just like that. You can just very slowly turn it up or turn it down and control it very smoothly. Whereas in a big diesel piece of equipment, you've got a clutch, you've got to feather that clutch to get power to the ground smoothly, and it's just not quite as easy to control. So another interesting fact, and that technology has been around for a while, and I think basically Hyliion has just taken that and improved on it greatly. It's to the point now where Thomas Healy just said the other day, the cost of electricity per kilowatt hour is, I think he said, less than 7 cents per kilowatt hour, which is cheaper than you can plug into an outlet and charge for. It's actually cheaper to generate your own on the fly with the natural gas generator than it is to recharge at a charging station. So that's fantastic. And then you throw on top of that, if you use the RNG, which is the renewable natural gas, which they get from landfills and dairy farms, things like that, where they're capturing the natural gas that comes off the rotting vegetation or whatnot, manure and so forth. Now you're carbon net negative, so you're actually helping clean the Earth's atmosphere when you run these trucks. That's pretty amazing. I don't think even Tesla can really say that, because when you plug into the grid, you don't know where that power is coming from. It may be solar, it may be hydro, but chances are very good it's coal. And then again, Thomas Healy at Hyliion just announced that they've got a big consortium now of really big names in the trucking industry, like Snyder and I think Budweiser, and I'm not sure who else, but there's a whole list of, I think, probably 10 or 15 different really well-known companies in the trucking industry that are working alongside or with Hyliion to make this happen. And some of them have also put orders in. So it's a really, I think, a fantastic sign that this company's on the right path. And they're set to explode here. Well, I shouldn't say explode, but they have a very healthy growth very soon. So that's all I really wanted to say. I need to get back to work. My folks are here visiting from LA, so I'm going to cut it off right here. God bless you guys, and we'll talk to you soon. Give me your comments below. Thanks, guys. Talk to you soon.